What is up, Land fam, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lix, and yes, we are finally at part 3 of the flip-flop tutorial series, and in this part we will add some materials and then set up our scene and start rendering right away. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial series, and if you did, please subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Please subscribe, and if you didn't watch part 1 and part 2, I will leave the link down the description below, and you could go and watch them before you watch this one. Now, without further ado, let's get
What
to
is
the
up, Land fam? Now we have our flip-flop here, and this is where we've left off. And as you can see, I've done a little bit of some tweaking, and mine and yours won't look different. And I hope you've done a little bit of tweaking yourself too. And now we are going to add the materials. Now let's start adding the materials. Click on the materials tab and select the strap and add a new material and rename this material to red. And then I have written down the material on the paper, how I want it to look, and it's like 0.029 and enter, and then over here type 1, just 1, wait, and over here just type 0.900 and enter, and let us check out the material now, and looking good. And now let us add some material to the sole tool, and we'll just say black and enter, and oh, I just typed black, and now I've also typed, oh, actually just bring it down, and that's just it, and set the roughness to something like 0.667 and enter, and there you go. And there we have the materials of our flip-flop, and it's looking quite good. Okay, now let us put some flow, hide that, and Shift A, add a plane, and oh, first Shift S, cursor to world origin, and Shift A and add a plane, and 7 for topographic view, and scale the plane up, and not bad. Looks good. Now tab out of object mode and subdivide your, oh, actually let's go back to solid and subdivide your plane, and subdivide, and I'm happy. And what we are going to do now, we are going to add a image texture shading, add, and let's rename this material to something like wood, and Shift A and add texture and add an image texture and drop it down there, and then open up your image texture, and let me check, what do I have? Let me check, what do I have? And there you go, there I have it. And actually, oh yeah, I think it is connected to the color, and let us see, and there you go, looking good. Now as you can see, it's looking flat, so what we are going to do, we are going to material view, and what we are going to do, we are going to add a displacement modifier, and add a material, and then rename our material to wood and enter, and then set our texture coordinate to UV and set the strength to 0.1, I guess 0.1, and you see no difference. For now, let us go to our textures and open up another wood. Now we are going to add a normal map of our wood, and there you go. As you can see, it has added some depth. And if you go to solid mode, and you can see our plane now has some depth of wood. And I've done a tutorial on how to do this. If you want to check it out, I will leave the link down in the description below, and you can check it out. And now add a subdivision surface modifier and bump it up to 2, and there you go. There we have our wood. And unhide our flip-flop, unhide, and unhide our strap too, and select them. Actually, let us join them. Control J, and oh no, don't join them. Let's just parent the strap to the sole. Control P, object, and then grab the sole, and the strap will follow along too. Grab it on the Z-axis, and there we have it, 0. And now you could set up your camera. Let us select our flip-flop and grab it on the Y. Now there you have it. Now I will leave it to you, and you will render it in your own way that you want the camera angle to view the flip-flop. Like, you could grab the camera and move it in any angle that you want, 0, and there you go. There you can see the flip-flop, and go to your render view, and as you can see, it doesn't have enough lighting. And if you want enough lighting, you could add some more lights. Shift D and grab this on the Y, some more lights, add more lights, and there you go. And what I did on the final render, I added some depth of field and set the focus like there, over there, depth of field, and set the focus to the sole, and I've rendered it in cycles. And I use the default settings for the rendering. And that is it for this tutorial. If you enjoyed, smash the like button and subscribe, and see you in the next video.